Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.
So it's been a bit, and I have to say a lot of the reason why I haven't posted on YouTube in a year, it's kind of crazy. I've made so many intros and videos and just absorbed so much content to share in this space. Even on our trip, I know my last vlog was about our trip and the exploring we were gonna do in the spring, and that was the most mind-blowing trip I've ever went on, and it really changed me as a person in so many ways that it's been pretty like I'm just learning how to adjust to back to this life, which is crazy because my life here in California, I've been doing this for 30 plus years, and to go to somewhere else for 1 month and it make that big of an impact is pretty profound. So when I say it's taken a year to readjust, it truly has. On vacation or on trips, I like really immerse myself. So to come out of that, it was a little bit depressing. So I've had quite a bit of a challenge readjusting back to life. I've been on Instagram for a bit, for quite a few years, and really posting things there. And recently a lot of buzz has been around. Really beautiful to watch people get excited and motivated about postpartum through my video, my content. But I thought I could share a little bit more here. And this has always been a cozy space for me, even if I've only posted 2 videos. I love YouTube. I use YouTube every single day. But I wanted to share a little bit of updates of what I've been up to. So yes, Instagram has been my cozy little corner and just working on a lot of recipes. I published a ebook. It encompasses the essence of my beliefs as a doula and the practices that I wanted to share with moms and caretakers, so our caregivers. And so it's really a special thing that I actually made this book. And it's so special to my heart because yes, it's just an ebook right now, but I'm hoping in the future to make an actual real book that people can purchase at bookstores, because it is just filled with so much knowledge and information and full of recipes, and just like my healing recipes that I use for mamas and for their healing, and also a lot of cooking recipes and things that I make for food and nourishment. So that book has been such a journey and a gift that I've been able to put that out into this world. It's just been such a transformative year. I've never changed and grown so much. We are going to today or later this week, we'll see how it goes. We're gonna be picking up a bunch of goodies, a lot of seeds. So I'm gonna do a lot of seedlings versus plants this time around, because seeds are gonna grow really fast. We have a lot of rainy weather coming up. And I'm just really excited to see what that growth is. We're gonna do chamomile, lavender, and calendula. And I already have sage and a little bit of lavender. So that's the combo, and lots of milkweed, of course, because the butterflies are crazy. I am going to run to Trader Joe's. I gotta go get some flowers. I have a girlfriend coming over. I also am doing a DIY currently, and I'll show you a little bit more about that. And then lastly is getting those seeds for our garden box. So lots of things. I'm gonna keep you posted. Let's get to it. And then really quickly, I wanted to show you this little beauty. I made this. So I've been crocheting a lot. I've been making blankets. I'll show you later, but I made this cute little vest, and I thought it would be so cute to add like the detail of a fun little bow on top. So I actually made
No telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
I'm obsessed with these. They're so delicious.
jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
Say something that will make my day, 'cause these memories of her won't go away. They're haunting me so I can't sleep. She was a pretty little liar who cut me deep, 'cause she left me here alone. Now my bed feels just like cobblestone. Oh, why did she go? Oh, was I supposed to know that she'd leave? Was I too naive to think that she'd be the one? Whoa, why did she go? I met her back in 2005. It was her crooked little smile that caught my eye. Time went by and it was her and I. She promised me to never leave my side, but she left me here alone. I know it's dumb, I still check my phone, 'cause I can't move on. Whoa, why did she go? Whoa.
I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have been busy, so today has been quite a getting things sorted. It's my day off before I go into ceremonial sessions and belly binds for the rest of the week. So today I'm getting some really important tasks done around my home and preparing my garden for my postpartum herbs for the year. So every spring I like to make a postpartum raised garden bed of postpartum herbs and florals that I use with my belly binding sessions. I do a foot bath and I also make a lot of herbs for peri bottles, etc. So I like to get all my herbs situated and ready for the rest of the year. So I'm actually going to be planting today. So I have all of these seeds ready to go. I'm really excited because I was looking everywhere for seeds in person. I went to tons of different nurseries in my area, and I also looked online, but online, unfortunately, by the time I would ship and like bring in the seeds that I wanted, it was coming up to almost $100 for like 2 or 3 things of seeds because shipping was so expensive for the seeds that I wanted. So I just kind of gave up hope and was like, I'll find it when I find it. And then on date night a couple days ago, we walked into our grocery store, which is Sprouts, and literally ran into the thing of seeds that were right by the carts, which is really funny. They put them like right at the door. But anyways, I found these. Last year we had so many caterpillars. It was out of this world. We were actually like saving caterpillars because they were climbing on our house and like going on our roof and all these crazy things. So this year we moved the garden bed a little bit away, and we're gonna do seeds instead of buying a lot of milkweed from the local nursery because it was getting so pricey. So we're doing seeds. So I got a good blend. We have the precious pollinators, so it will bring a lot of bees and butterflies in, which I'm already seeing them circling our area. So they're looking for all of the things that I had last year, and I don't want to disappoint them. And then also bring home the butterfly mix, which is just a beautiful mix of mint and lemon and cosmos and calendula and all that, which I can actually use a lot of these. They're organic, non-GMO. And then last night I was at Whole Foods and I ran into a whole thing of seeds again. So that was shocking, that like meal prep day, because we watched ourselves over the weekend kind of ate out every day, and that's not like us. And my blood sugar has been really wonky and weird and keeps dropping. So I clearly know that I need to have a lot more vegetables available. And for me, I like to roast a bunch of veggies. I like to have my rice and beans ready. And then I like to have one big thing of bone broth and boiled chicken to like shred and put in tacos during the week. That's what works best for our bodies, is keeping really simple, healthy, and minimal. So we're gonna do that all today. I have chicken going right now in the back for a couple hours, just getting that simmered and that yummy broth ready to go. I have my sourdough going. I'm gonna show you that. That's been going since this morning. And then I have soaked beans. So that's the combo there. And I'm looking forward to just getting this all situated, because I just, exciting enough, put out my ebook. So my cookbook is now available, which is just such a celebration. I cannot wait for you all to check it out. I'm gonna put all the details below if you want to download my ebook. It is ready, it's available for you all. But in the meantime, we can chat about it today. But let's get going, let's get some stuff done, and I'm excited for you. maybe you've wanted a belly bind, but you have never had the chance to learn. So today I'm going to do a very essential, overall, basic, but again, essential belly binding tutorial and showing you how to do this belly bind, the bengkung belly binding method, and how to make it feel so good, so snug, and work for you for postpartum. So it's easy to feel really overwhelmed when it comes to belly binding. I'm going to show you really the essentials you're going to need. And this is a very easy breezy basic workshop. We're going to go over the basics, and I want you to learn all of the details so that you can do this bind too, and it can fit you snug and comfy as well. So I'm going to take off my bind, but as I'm taking it off, I'm going to give you a little bit an overview of the basics and why belly binding is so essential. So I see belly binding as a very essential method because binding is a really great compress while the body still is sorting out the relactin hormone that's in your body. Your body before birth, before you give birth, has relactin, the hormone. And relactin is a hormone that basically essentially makes everything pretty loose, your hips loose, and allows this area to prepare for birthing your baby. But it's still in your system, and it ranges. There's so many different beliefs out there, but it ranges from 6 weeks to 3 months at a higher amount. Some say up to 9 months, but around 3 months is like really what I encourage belly binding for, especially that first 6 weeks. So the benefits can be supporting your body so that you don't cause any hip issues, causing any injury. Also, binding can be really essential in that it helps support your system while you are dealing with uterus contractions after birth, so it can lessen the pain. It also can be a support system so that you sit and move properly, because during postpartum we get in weird positions feeding our baby late at night when our muscles are already prone to injury. They're pretty supple, and we do things weird at night because we're moving in the dark. So bind can really be that support system that you need to really helping you so that you don't get in these weird positions. Also, belly binding can support the pelvic floor. I say it can because there's so much information out there, and so many people speak about belly binding as being actually a creator of pelvic floor issues. I don't see belly binding as creating pelvic floor issues when done correctly, but I see belly binding as a layer. So it's one layer amongst many that you really need to take into consideration for your pelvic floor health. And I'm not going to dive too deeply into pelvic floor health at this time, but I will say preconception all the way pregnancy, all the way through your postpartum, having pelvic floor therapy is going to be essential. So the bind can be a layer amongst many other layers in terms of healing, but it's not going to be the cure-all, the end-all of all healthy elements that you use. So I like to use it as one of many layers. Now with binding, it's important to do it properly because it can cause problems. It can cause possibly pelvic floor prolapse and many other issues if you are binding way too tight and incorrectly. That's why I like the bengkung belly binder, because you're not going to necessarily do that with this bind. It's almost impossible to use it improperly, but always check in with your healthcare team, the ones that are looking after you first and foremost before you ever try something on YouTube. But as a postpartum doula, when I work with my clients, this is the method that I love to use when it is appropriate. So definitely DM me or message me or comment below if you have questions in terms of when it is or isn't appropriate. But in general, it should be really supportive for your body. But again, I can't say for you since I'm not working with you necessarily. This is a general overall belly bind tutorial, and you take what is best for you. So I have 17 yards of muslin cotton. You can purchase belly binders on my shop page on my website, so feel free to go over there and check them out. All my belly binders are handmade for my mother-in-law, and they're made with the highest quality of cotton, and they're just so, so lovely. So check them out. Go ahead and go over there. But we're gonna do a quick bind with my beautiful blue teal green one that I've had for many years. What you're gonna wanna do technically is you're gonna wanna bind naked. You're going to want to bind naked because we want it against your skin. I'm binding over clothes for obvious reasons, but you would want to bind naked, or at least if you're wearing boy shorts, roll them down and have the belly exposed, okay? Super important there. I get a lot of questions if you can belly bind with a C-section, if you had a surgical birth and incision. Yes, you absolutely can, but definitely check in with your doctor first before to make sure it's appropriate. There are times when it isn't appropriate, like your incision is vertical versus horizontal. Those kind of situations I would check in with your doctor especially, but always in general. But anyone and everyone can belly bind. It just depends on what's best for your body. So what I do is I throw the material 17 yards on the floor. It will range, so if you have a different sizing that's perfect for your body, great. You can DM me if you have questions about sizing. I can definitely get into those in-depth logistics with you. But we want to take the material. So I'm taking my material, I'm measuring the side of my head. Measuring the side of my head, or up to my head all the way down the body. I want to know the length of how I should start my bind. And then I take my other hand, usually at the hip bone area, and I'm going to grab the material at the hip bone area and grab it securely. Usually go a little bit below if you have a long torso. I have a long torso. So I'm going to go a little bit below my hip area, grab that piece, and then I'm going to tuck that piece into my bra strap. Super easy, and if you're not wearing a bra strap, you can put it in your teeth, and it can keep it secure. And then I'm going to swirl around the body before I start binding. That's super important because we need a backbone or a foundational piece, you can call it, to holding the bind from moving, because again, it's going to be binded on your skin. So against the skin, it can move really easily, and so it's important that we get, that material there so it can be a great little bit of tension or cause a little bit of texture so it stays put. I go around the belly. It will depend on what your body is like after birth. Remember, I don't have a postpartum body. I don't have my own baby, so my body, I'm binding a little bit differently. This is going to fit me differently than it will for you. I don't have a belly. So we go around, and I like to cover all the way down to the hip bones. So you can see I'm covering, but I allow my tush to be free, and I'm able to use the restroom when possible. And if you have your boy shorts and your pad and all that, you can move freely and feel comfortable. And then, so I still have this piece of my shoulder. I swirled around the body, and now I'm releasing this piece down and kind of guiding this piece down to make sure there's no knots. It's nice and flat. And then I tie my lower hip area. So I'm just making a double knot. When you tie it, you will feel a little bit of movement and tension. So just pull down this piece and make sure it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to double knot because I don't want it to move. Super easy, right? To slowly work ourselves up and stay in this position. So I'm still going to put that little piece over my shoulder, tuck it in my bra strap, and then I'm going to start working around my body. As you go around your body, you're going to smooth out the material. You're going to slowly smooth out the material. Let's keep going around to the front. Take the piece off your shoulder, a little piece, drop it, and then let it go around that piece. Do you see that movement? Over my shoulder, dropping it, and letting go around and pulling up. I'm going to show you another trick while we're doing that, or as we do that again. So we're going to go back around. I'm feeling my curves. I'm only inching up and staying low in the hips, not jumping up, because that can cause pelvic floor issues if we did the bind in the midsection, do like a squeezing the ketchup bottle thing where we're like binding in the middle and putting pressure down. We want to bind slow, supportive from the hips all the way up, going down, around. So you're just going to essentially around that big piece. And as I do that, and I'm just kicking the material, I'm stepping over the material. It's very easy to do. You don't have to worry about that material on the ground. When I get to this place, I'm pulling tight, then dropping that piece, then putting that little piece over again. That's all I'm doing, that motion. And we're gonna go around again and doing it again. So take your time, but we're really just essentially, when we get to this place, we really pull snug, and then we drop that piece. And there's a lot of tension that needs to be held in that area. Sometimes it's better to have someone bind you, But essentially, you can do it on your own. You just need to make sure you keep that tension in that space, which the easiest way to do that is just really holding it tight, dropping that piece down, keeping it very tight, keep it very snug, and then back tucked into your bra strap. And we go back around again. Tight, over, bra strap. Pretty repetitive. So that's all we're doing is going around and around, nothing crazy here. And we just keep doing it. And we want to just make sure the whole belly is covered for the most part. If you can't cover your whole belly, you can DM me and message me about sizing. Sometimes my mama clients don't fully cover their belly because they're super tall. Their torso is a little bit longer than the material allows, and that's okay in the very beginning. There's a little bit of exposed skin. We just want, eventually, you will grow, your belly will decrease and your body will grow into that bind and it will fit you perfectly. So don't worry, but if it is pretty significant that it's not covering your body, DM me. I love to help. So we keep going around and feeling the body. I'm making sure it fits nice and snug, not tight. We don't want this to be like a corset or shapewear. It's not manipulating the body. And that's what a lot of the Velcro belly binders do. This belly binder does not do that. This is nice and comfortable. When it's worn out, you can tell it's time to take it off. It gets soft, and I love that for the cotton binders versus a Velcro plastic binder. I've been doing this for 11 years, and I can't say enough that it's super important to find a binder that fits and feels comfortable for you. So we get towards the front, and again, if you're doing this, do it in front of a mirror. It makes it so much easier. Or you could show your doula this video, or you could show a partner or friend a video like this. And I also, if you're in San Diego, I come and see you, and I will do this with a beautiful ceremonial session for you after birth. And then I tie off where it feels comfortable. You can tie anywhere. You don't have to tie in the front, but I don't like to tie on the spine because it doesn't feel comfortable. And then that's it. So I make sure everything is nice and snug. First off, snug. Second is I want to make sure it's low on my hips, which my hip bone is here. So it's very low. I'm able to still use the restroom. If I was wearing shorts, don't do a jumper like me. And then it's even all the way up, meaning I'm not putting pressure in the midsection and squeezing it like a toothpaste or ketchup bottle. So that is it so far. How do you feel about this binder? Do you feel like this really supports you in the way that you want to heal and take care of your body? I really hope so. This is such a simple, easy, breezy way to bind. And once you have it on, it's great for the whole day. You don't have to take off a bind. You can keep it on as long as it feels good, but really go with the flow of what your body's telling you. Always check in with your healthcare team before belly binding, just because I'm not working with you, so I really don't know what's going on your end and making sure it's appropriate for your postpartum healing. But in general, I really hope that you try this and let me know what you think.
Say something that will make my day.